why using the crosswalk at City College can save you hundreds of dollars.
And what you can bring on the plane. We'll tell you what TSA now is allowing on flights.
Plus, South America mourns the death of a prominent leader. What's next for Venezuela?
And San Diegans are experiencing some cooler temperatures. I'll have your weekend forecast. Newscene starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to this edition of Newscene. It's March 8th, 2013. I'm Dallas Richter.
And I'm Max Russell. Thank you for joining us.
You're probably used to watching for cops on the freeway, but now you may have to keep an eye on the sidewalk. Aaliyah Bora is here to tell us more about the story. Aaliyah, what's going on?
Oh, there's a lot going on, Max and Dallas. So you may be happy that the city recently disabled their red light cameras, but now San Diego police are enforcing some of the old rules that could get you a ticket.
If you're going across the street in front of City College, you better look and think twice. Due to the increase in pedestrian traffic fatalities, San Diego police are cracking down on jaywalking. The citywide initiative will first be implemented in Hillcrest and downtown, which could be bad news for students at City College.
If we cite you for a jaywalking ticket or walking across on a red light, you're going to pay about $100. And, depending on the judge, he may suspend it, but it's about a $100 citation.
According to San Diego police, many accidents involving pedestrians are caused by the person crossing the street. Last month alone, 6 pedestrians were killed in traffic collisions, and 5 of them were found to be at fault. By writing tickets and warnings, the police hope to raise awareness about pedestrian safety.
It makes sense, but at the same time, maybe that shouldn't be the form of discipline taken towards the matter.
Many City College students are concerned because of the construction and lack of crosswalks on C Street. The Math and Science Building, which houses the new student parking structure, has no crosswalk linking it to the main campus, causing many students to jaywalk.
Since there's an incline on the hill, they can't see when a student is coming down. It's actually necessary to have crosswalks in the middle.
To avoid getting a ticket, police say don't jaywalk and don't cross when there is a red hand at the signal.
I just thought twice about how I just jaywalked and I could have gotten a ticket.
For now, City College students will have to follow the rules or risk paying the price.
This new initiative is partially funded by a grant from the California Office for Traffic Safety. San Diego police say they will be expanding their ticketing to other parts of the city in coming months. So Max and Dallas, you might want to be careful walking back to your cars. Those tickets are expensive if you're a student.
That's good to know, Aaliyah. I'm not going to lie. I've done it a couple times, so save myself some dollars there. Thank you so much.
The rising number of air traffic control errors is at an all-time high. The San Diego TRACON facility located in Kearny Mesa ranked the highest in the nation. TRACON facilities manage air traffic control in the vast space between airports. The report showed that air traffic controllers were allowing planes to fly too close together. Even though the report found errors nationwide, most were localized in San Diego, the largest TRACON hub in the United States.
An effort to create a higher quality image of Escondido may force small cab companies out of business. The City Council will come to a decision on Wednesday whether or not cab companies will have to undergo stricter regulations. If the proposal is passed, companies would need a fleet of 10 or more taxis. This would force many of the smaller companies out of business. Some fear the stricter regulations would lead to increased fares, while others are hopeful that this would lead to a higher quality taxi service for Escondido.
Starting in April, TSA will allow passengers to take small pocket knives onto planes. On Tuesday, TSA announced that it will allow blades no longer than 6 centimeters on board within guided requirements. TSA will also allow travelers to bring ski poles, hockey sticks, among other items as carry-on baggage. The head of the agency says the changes will allow TSA screeners to focus on greater dangers on the plane. One passenger is all for the change.
It's how you use it, right? I mean, if you give it to a ninja, he'll probably do something with it, but the average Joe, it just needs to cut fingernails, cut a tape, or something like that, something average.
The new rules are set to begin on April 25th.
Analysts say the United States won't feel the full effects of the sequester until April. However, some American institutions are experiencing the pinch of imposed budget cuts in the first week. Tuesday, Washington reported that it had immediately been affected by the cuts, canceling all White House tours due to understaffing. There are long waits at some major airports and border crossings, and cargo is piling up at seaports. 40% of custom booths in New York and Miami were unmanned this weekend, resulting in up to 3-hour lines for international passengers. How much longer can we expect airborne lines to get?
150 to 200% as long as we would normally expect.
Already feeling the pinch, only time will tell the full effect the sequester will have on the nation.
John Kerry made his first trip overseas as the U.S. Secretary of State this week. With meetings in Rome, Riyadh, and Qatar, Kerry says the president sent him to Rome to meet with the other foreign ministers trying to bring about the end of bloody civil war in Syria.
The president has made it clear, as has every other country at the table, that we will not allow President Assad to slaughter his people and to continue to rain scuds on innocent women and children and to literally destroy his country in the effort simply to hold on to power.
Kerry told reporters the U.S. had begun providing district aid to the Syrian Opposition Council, but stated that the U.S. is not providing weapons at this time.
Things are heating up after North Korea threatened the United States with a preemptive nuclear strike. North Korea's nuclear test last month ignited the United Nations Security Council to decide on higher sanctions. The sanctions put in place will freeze any financial transactions that could contribute to nuclear or missile programs and bans all luxury exports to the north. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Susan Rice spoke to the press about the world's position on North Korea.
The entire world stands united in our commitment to the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula.
Although the United States is erring on the side of caution, they do not see North Korea as an immediate threat.
Today, Venezuela mourns the loss of one of its most polarizing political figures. Leaders from around the world gathered in Venezuela's capital to attend the funeral of President Hugo Chavez earlier today. Among the visiting were Iran's Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, Cuba's Raul Castro. Chavez was revered by the poor for his emphasis on social programs, yet many Venezuelans criticized the president's spending policies, saying the nation's wealth in oil should have been used to improve the country's infrastructure. Thousands gathered outside Caracas Military Academy despite the public criticism of the president.
Commander Chavez will be seen for at least 7 days more by the people of Venezuela.
Chavez held power for 14 years and will be succeeded by his vice president, Nicolas Maduro.
Coming up next, a deadly strain of bacteria is on the rise. Find out what the Center for Disease Control is doing to protect you.
Which NHL team is on the rise? We have some good news for hockey fans coming up.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier